Inoue's the heavy favourite.
Understandably.
I think Inoue might struggle for the first few rounds though.
He's going to have a similar Filipino style, or not the same as...
He's only got 3 losses on his record.
That was a good fight. Should have been stopped 2 rounds early.
Yeah. Featherweight, you've got British, American and Mexican champions.
No disrespect to any of them, but I don't think there's any of them capable of outboxing.
I mean, Sunday or just sitting there doing nothing.
Inoue to win by knockout in...
And, 2 fantastic world champions, but 1 superstar as well.
All right, welcome back to another episode of BoxCast. Today we're going to be discussing the undisputed fight between Naoya Inoue and Marlon Tapales.
The Boxing Day extravaganza.
In Japan. And aptly on Boxing Day. So Simon, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Special guest again. What do you think? And we're both Inoue fanboys, so...
Yeah, it's going to be on, you reckon, about 7 o'clock in the morning. On Boxing Day.
I think it's 12 p.m. UK time. I think it's Eastern time is US time. It's going to be early, isn't it? I think. It's...
No, broadcast is set to begin
at 10 a.m. UK time with 12 p.m. for the main event, give or take.
Okay.
Japan is normally, it's ahead, isn't it? So it should be...
So I'll enjoy my bubble and squeak while watching it.
And it's 7 o'clock in the morning in Eastern time, which will be the US time, I think.
It's for all 4 belts. So
it's going to be 2-weight undisputed, possibly.
I don't think anyone's ever done that before, have they?
In those 2 divisions?
I don't think in any divisions. 2-weight undisputed.
Well, Usyk could be already there if he was.
But he's not.
So he's got the potential to do it with the fight in February. The Crawford, if he defeats Charlo, he's got the chance.
The second man in boxing history to unify all 4 belts in 2-weight classes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's record-breaking stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Tapales is on a good run at the moment.
Yeah.
Inoue's on Inoue's never not been on a
yeah,
good
it's always been a good run.
I think it's boxer versus hitter again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although we say a hitter, like Inoue isn't a boxer, he's a phenomenal boxer.
He's just everything. Yeah.
Inoue's the heavy favourite.
Yeah. Understandably.
Yeah.
I don't think many people know about Tapales so much, although he's had a fair few fights.
He's a little Filipino, isn't he? 40 fights.
Yeah.
He's only got 3 losses on his record. One of them in his retired, knocked out, and I think he's been knocked out twice and retired and won. But his last 3 fights, he's
got the belt in the last few, hasn't he? So
won by knockout. I think he's got about 53% knockout ratio.
Well, 19 and 37, so you're just over 50, isn't it?
So it's not... I think you can't see anything but an Inoue win, but is that just because we're of Inoue?
Well, there's always a chance. I think the question we had when we've done the Fulton one is whether he carries his power, which he's emphatically answered, I think. And the only way I could see somebody stop him, and you may disagree, but is if somebody's can take his power and do what he does to people, walk him down, like Canelo does to people, or like Inoue himself does. I think anybody without that power to slow him down is just going to get ground out, worn out. It's just how long they last.
Yeah, I think you need to get...
Because I don't think there's anybody with a boxing skill at that level that's better than he is.
Yeah, I think...
Overall, I think there's only Crawford who has more skill, maybe.
I'd say you've got to try and get his respect, but I think Nonte Donaire did that, didn't he? And he was a big hitter.
He's the only one who's come close. And he's tall and rangy as well.
In a way, just kind of went, yeah, let's have it out then.
Well, that's the one where he damaged his eye or something, didn't he? And he still carried on one.
I mean, I know, I think Tapales will be speaking to Donaire, they're both Filipinos, trying to find out.
But it could be like his second fight. when once he worked him out.
Yeah,
it wasn't. They didn't take him. It took 2 rounds or whatever it was to finish him off.
I mean, Tapales is a cagey little fighter.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
I think it'll be harder than Fulton. But Fulton was a boxer, and he couldn't do anything against him. You know, a very good boxer. But he wasn't at the elite level that.
Yeah, and I think
Tapales is. Would you say he's at that?
I'd say he's at an elite level. I'd say he's got the experience.
He's got the experience.
You know, 40 fights, 2-belt world champion. I think he's a multi-weight world champion as well.
I think so. A lot of different ones. Well, the reason I look at that, I've seen the fight. I think I told you, didn't it? With the other, what his name is. Let me find his name so I don't massacre it. One of the other guys that I think he's beaten to get one of the belts, or beaten to ahead of him. Alim. What weight's this? It's super featherweight.
Super bantam, isn't it?
Super bantamweight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bantamweight rankings. Right, super bantamweight rankings. Let me just bring him.
I just don't see. It's in Japan, isn't it? And
So decision is not likely to be.
I think, you know, you'd have to have Tapales' mum, dad, and grandma as the judges for him to win a decision.
It'd be tricky, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to think that judges aren't biased, but, you know, we've had a few crazy decisions this year in the boxing world.
Akhmadaliev, John Akhmadaliev. He's beaten him, and I think Akhmadaliev was out for revenge because he beat the Mexican unbeaten guy. That was a good fight. It should have been stopped 2 rounds early. Stopped in the 8, but I mean, he looked quite good. But then he's ranked below Fulton. Fulton's still ranked number 3. On that list of the WBC. WBA, you've got Tapales, obviously number 1, and Arman isn't even on it. But Akhmadaliev is number 2 there. I think that's where IBF have got Tapales, and then where have they got? Yeah, Akhmadaliev is number 3 there. And in a way, they've got as number 6, so they've got him further down. But I mean,
the only thing that Tapales is a southpaw. I don't know how many southpaws Inoue's fought.
So he's going to be tricky.
It'll be a little bit trickier, isn't it?
He didn't look that much bigger, though, in his size from when he was at the fight with the Fulton fight.
No, I mean...
Do you think it's a case of if Inoue Monster turns up, then it's going to be pretty much like the Fulton fight? Or it so depends on what version of Inoue turns up? Or do you think it's more even because Tapales is actually going to give him...
It depends whether Tapales is beaten before he gets in the ring.
Yeah. Which a lot of people with Inoue are.
Yeah, he's got
Although
that.
Fulton wasn't.
No, he wasn't, but he's got that. He's got that Mike Tyson factor about him, hasn't he? That they were basically scared stiff, and
although in a different way because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
outside, but once he gets in,
I mean, to
be fair, Mike Tyson is as well. Really,
yeah, but I mean, they're both similar age. Well, Inoue's 30, Tapales is 31. Say Tapales had 40 fights, lost 3, 2 by stoppage, so he can be stopped.
Yeah. And he hasn't got a silly knockout percentage. 50% is okay, but it's Inoue's 88 or whatever, something silly, isn't it?
I think Inoue might struggle for the first few rounds, though.
Yeah,
it getting used to a southpaw stance
from people he's fought before, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll take him a bit of time to download. That's what he had with Donaire. It took time to, and Donaire caught him in the second or third round, didn't he? When he damaged his eye.
What was Donaire a southpaw?
No, but I think it's just the style. I think Donaire is orthodox, but he can go.
But I think he'll take a few rounds to get used to that southpaw stance. I think Tapales will have some success. I really do. I think that jab and move. I know it's that old cliche, jab and move, but I think that's the only way you can.
You've got to be able to hit him and move so you don't get caught.
If he can, if he's got the power to hurt him,
then he's got a chance.
Yeah, and throw. You've got to throw more than one one punch.
Yeah,
You've got to
it's not
double
really
up the
much.
jab, throw some body shots in, keep Inoue guessing. He tends to get the other opponents guessing, whereas I think if you can reverse it, get Inoue guessing, what's this guy going to do?
Type of Eastern European. Well, he's not Eastern European, but they have that with it relentless pressure. Even if they're not hitting you, it's just
he's just
forcing
walking you down.
into thinking what you're going to do.
Try and take centre of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anyone do that against Inoue either.
Quite impressive if you can do that.
Come out, stand in the centre of the ring and see what happens.
The fight now might be not that long if that happens.
No, I don't. I think the fight might go the distance.
I think Tapales has said it's not going to go 12 rounds. I don't know what Inoue said. I think there's a Tapales what it said. Which is...
No, but we had bloody Fulton saying that, didn't we? And he basically ran around the ring for 8 rounds until he got spark clean out. Although them Filipinos, they are tough. They don't really take a backward step, do they? Look at the Filipinos of the past. You've got Pacquiao, Donaire, Jerry Pendosa. They don't take a backward step. They've had rough fights, like the Mexicans. Yeah. From the age of 15, they're fighting 30-year-olds.
Seasoned pros, all
you look at he's 31 and he's had 40 fights. How many fighters in the way had? About 25.
Yeah.
And he's 30. So they learn their craft.
I don't think he's going to have 15 in the next year or whatever he's going to do.
No.
I don't think he needs to.
They are they're
tough.
Well,
Inoue's toughest fight, and I think we've said this before, is Donaire, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is the same. He's going to have a similar Filipino style, or not the same as Donaire, because Donaire's tall and rangy and whatever, and I think he's a bit more stocky and...
Yeah.
But it's that relentless. They don't give up. They come forward.
No, they're not going to give up.
They will give it a good go.
They really don't give up. Like I say, they're a little bit like the Mexicans in that aspect, that from a young age. They're fighting.
Well, that was the Akhmaduliev fight, because the Mexican guy was like 25 or 26, and his corner should have taken him out, because he's still got a load of fight in him. And Akhmaduliev, 6th round, he was basically out of there, and he was like, "No, I want to continue. Give me another round." The referee should have called it off before, and they went to the 8th when he's really basically, it's dangerous. It shouldn't be. It's a difference if you're in the fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was still swinging and going, but he wasn't really in the fight. He won the first round, and then I think basically lost the rest. Although it was a good fight, it was closer in all those rounds. But I mean, there's one guy winning as soon as he's knocked him down. Yeah, so the Mexicans don't give up.
No, they don't, and I don't think the Filipinos will either. Although I say that he did retire on his stool once to Tapales, I think. So that's exactly.
Look up who he lost to, isn't it? Who's let me. Well, go on. You carry on.
I think it was when it was in his earlier days.
He might have an injury though, isn't it? It's like I've seen the fight with. Well, we should probably do a different one on this, in it, on Bam Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards. And there's people saying anything. No, he didn't. Edwards gave like one of the best accounts of somebody who's losing.
Yeah, he retired in his 9th fight.
Yeah. So that was probably really early for them, maybe, for that many fights. So.
And then he lost a decision against David Sanchez. And then he got a knockout by... Royski Ayubuza.
Yeah, 51.35. Oh, you were good. You're right on the... Also, he's the same height, isn't he? Similar, 5'4". In a way, what do we say? He's 5'5", I think. So they're about the same.
Yeah, I mean, that
65 inches.
Worries me that he's...
Oh yeah, Akhmadaliev is the last one, isn't he? So a split decision. No wonder Akhmadaliev wants to get back at him.
Yeah.
Where was that fight? San Antonio. So that's how he's won the belts, isn't it? Off Akhmadaliev.
He knocked out Estrada though.
Yeah,
and that's no easy feat.
So he's basically made most of his thing on the last 3 sort of fights, isn't he? And he's beaten a Japanese as well before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ashigawara.
Yeah, he is on a bit of a knockout spree, apart from Makhmediev, which he got the split decision on. Before that, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 knockouts. Lost. That worries me, that getting knocked out by Awaza. Because he's not a renowned, but
Down in rounds 3 and 11, so he must have got caught, isn't it?
yeah.
But then he's won by knockout before Castaneda.
Vargas Para.
Retired, knockout. So he had a few. So he's had his little bit at the moment against Sanchez.
Yeah.
Or Bricks Ray, so he's retired at the beginning. It's not bad though. It's good. It's a lot of wins. But his main big fights have all been in the last
few
fights, and that's where he's pulled his name out. And because he's won against Akhmadaliev, hadn't lost till then, and he's pretty highly rated. He looks quite good as well.
Yeah.
Australia is quite good, but yeah.
I think you've got to come up with a great game plan. You've got to be able to go to the trenches and come out of it the other end to beat Inoue. And maybe hope Inoue has an off night, but he's just a consummate professional, isn't he? He lives and breathes
boxing.
He does.
You know he's going to be trained. You know he's going to be there. So.
Yeah, and I think he's got bigger things on his mind. I mean, what's he at Super Bantamweight now? And then it's featherweight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Does he move up a weight? I mean, because there's no point him staying at Super Bantam.
Well, if he wins there, he's undisputed. I think it's then going up, isn't it? And then see how far he can go. I think that's the excitement, and that's what we want to see, really, innit? And there's no disrespect to Tapales, but, I think we want to see that. And then he will be, like you said, the second guy who's undisputed at 2 weights.
Yeah, I mean, because at featherweight, you've got Lee Wood, Ramirez, Vargas. Featherweight champions Espinosa.
I think we've looked at that before, and it said he could potentially be a 3-weight undisputed.
Alberto Lopez. Yeah, none of them really.
I think he puts an emphatic win here. None of them sound like they were going to be. And I think he's already sparred with Lee Wood and stuff, isn't it?
I think if
Wood was that weight and has gone up, hasn't he?
Problem he got is if he wins, and it's a big if because he might not. There's nothing for him at Super Bantamweight. He's got all the belts. So he moves up to featherweight. Featherweight, you've got British, American, and Mexican champions. And it take a large amount of money to get them over to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
A large amount of money.
But he's the biggest name out of all of them. Inoue's the biggest draw and the biggest name.
He is. Will he fight outside of Japan? Could Eddie Hearn tempt him to come over here?
Mm-hmm.
Fight in the UK against the Lee Wood?
I think the thing is that, are any of them big enough a name for him to...
Well, if they've got
he is in the main position of
if they've got a belt...
Then, yeah, maybe. A chance.
Although I don't know if Lee Wood vacated his belt. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I can't remember what I was saying. Should we have a look at who's the champions? We're going, carry on.
But if Tapales wins...
Yeah, then it's...
I mean, there's going to be a rematch clause in there.
I would imagine.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rematch clause in there. But I think Tapales will have to win by knockout or completely just dominate the fight, which I don't think you're going to do against Inoue.
No. I think it's going to be a slugfest, isn't it? You're going to do what Danair did, isn't it? And then maybe you've got a chance and or outbox him and outwalk him down, which I don't think there's anybody, no disrespect to any of them, but I don't think there's any of them capable of outboxing.
I mean, let's just be honest, we don't see anything but an Inoue win, do we?
Yeah, we're just trying to be extend this out, really. It's like, Inoue monster. It's a monster mash on Boxing Day.
Let's be honest, I like Marlon Tapales, I do, but he is fighting a monster.
Yeah.
He really, really is. I think he'll win a couple of rounds early on, but then I think he'll do he'll either do what most boxers do and go in the shell against him.
Yeah.
Or he'll do what maybe Danero do and just have a firefight and just let's go out go out my shield, or can I catch him?
It's whether he wants to like last the rounds, try and do it. Because
let's not forget this is only Inoue's second fight at this weight.
He wasn't bad in his first one.
He wasn't bad in his first one, but let's be honest, Fulton just ran away. He
felt the power and then basically did the.
So what if someone starts hitting Inoue cleanly? Because he hasn't got the best defense. And he can be caught. I think if you can...
Well, no, I think his defense is quite good, but when he's going for it, he can put his guard down. You can catch him.
Yeah, I think if you can land
open up a
few good punches on him, get his respect and make him think twice about coming in,
then he may have a chance.
It's like that old... Like we've said in Canelo era... People give Canelo too much respect, so they don't throw the punches, and so that's why he's able to walk them down. Whereas against the likes of Bivol was a heavier handed and basically just went, eat this right hand, and I think it did make Canelo think twice about launching his attacks, and I think that's what.
But I think Bivol's a better boxer than Canelo.
Yeah,
Canelo's main thing is he's got a chin and
is Tapales a better boxer than Inoue?
I haven't seen enough of him to say yes. I've only seen enough of Inoue to go. I think, like you said, I think he's the best other than Crawford, Pound and or any. I think in boxing skill, the other people of that skill level, Bivol would be one we've mentioned. See, I don't even think I'm an Usyk fanboy, and I don't think even he's as skillful as they are.
Okay, have we had a massive boxing upset this year?
It could be time for that, but I think we're going to get them on the day of reckoning. I think we're going to have more upsets, so they'll balance out, and then in a way it'll go back to normal.
Like I say, I think it's going to be a better fight than people think, though.
I think it'll be better than the Fulton fight. I think it'll be less one-sided.
I think it'll be quite a competitive fight for 4 or 5 rounds, and that's all you're going to get.
I think it'll take about 3 or 4 for him to
work
out,
Inoue is going to want
to switch into Inoue
mode. But
you know,
we say Inoue wants to make a statement, 2-weight world champion. Let's not forget it. Tapales wins. He's
undisputed.
Undisputed, because he's got 2 belts. Let's not forget that. He's earned them 2 belts. He's fought for them 2 belts.
And as we've said, he's had a good run in his last 3 fights.
Really. So his confidence is going to be high as well. So, you know, it's not to say, in a way he's on a mission because he wants to be undisputed.
I think both of them
So does Tapales. He wants to be undisputed. He's got 2 belts. Inoue's got 2 belts. I love these fights getting made for undisputed.
Yeah.
I do love them. I think it's fantastic for the sport. I think it's fantastic. Getting the best, fighting the best. You know, and then what it will do is your lower ranking players, they need to be in position, because for the likes of Inoue, if he does win, he's going to move up in weight.
Yeah.
So then belts become fragmented, and you're all going to fight for them again. The likes of Fulton and Tapales. I mean, that'd be a good fight.
Stuff will be after it. Yeah.
But yeah, I love this undisputed.
You need to have it in it, and for the legacy and the thing of record. That's why it's like a shame there's no records. But at least people before the best fought the best.
Yeah.
This is, if it's the best of the best.
You know, that's what Canelo did, didn't he? He went through that super middleweight division, and it was only champions he was fighting. And good on him. And now you've got Inoue doing the same thing, because he did it down at bantamweight, and now he's doing it up at super bantamweight. May it continue, go up to featherweight, super featherweight. Have we got?
May it continue.
You know what? You know, I'd say you can go up to lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
I think anything above. Although Manny Pacquiao was...
I think it depends on how much he wants to push his body. I think that's the thing. But I mean, I think in his build and current now, probably he can do 1 or 2. I think he can do, what is he, 126 now, 130, 130.
But if you look at...
Because 130 isn't a huge jump from 126.
But if you looked at Pacquiao when he was... Although...
He filled out more, didn't he?
Yeah, but and Pacquiao
Inoue doesn't
was
look
24, 25.
Yeah.
Inoue's
I think Inoue
30,
wouldn't want
isn't
to
he?
wreck his body for doing that much. I think
Let's be honest.
Pacquiao still grew into it because he did it quite quick.
And like you say, Inoue's 30. Pacquiao, I think, down at was it
mid-20s and early 20s?
You know, so he was
time.
still growing as a man, if you like. So I think Pacquiao's 8-weight world champion.
He's a different drive. I think Inoue's still a huge star, isn't he? In Japan, he's huge, so he's already made it. These are the extra bits, legacy icing on the cake. I mean, he looks younger than 30, but I mean, if he's 30, he's going to be. You don't want to push your body that much to do it, but you never know. I mean, he might.
I still think
he carries his power. He's dangerous in whatever. Then you're just going to get a height and reach disadvantages like huge ones.
I still think he needs that mega fight, and I know he's had mega fights, but I think he needs a mega fight in the US.
Yeah, to cement his place in that sort of US thinking and stuff.
Someone with a mass, because if you speak to the naysayer on the street and say, name the top 5 boxers in the world, the most obvious Usyk, Fury, Crawford, Canelo, Inoue would not be mentioned.
Well, I think unless you know boxing, you're not know
exactly.
his name. It's like
that's where I think he may need a mega fight in a Las Vegas or in the UK, even or someone like Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren promoting him.
Well, I think if he sorts this out, which we believe he will, then I think the next division jump up to featherweight, I think is then. I think he needs to travel a bit and get his name up. Maybe do in the UK, do over in the States, and then he can have one in Japan. There's enough of them. They're all fragmented. I think the belts there, so he's got the fights there to be able to do it, and then he will make that cementing legacy. And I think 126 to 130, if his powers like it was in the Fulton fight, that's not a huge jump. Then 130 to 135, you get a bit further.
Yeah, I mean, cause I think it's just a shame because, like, say to a box
Undisputed would make it,
But to a boxing purist, he's you'll talk about him all day. But like you say, to a boxing fan, he's not on their mind. They wouldn't mention him because he hasn't had the publicity.
Well, it's like our videos here, isn't it? We've did a watch along with him, which is a great fight, and we've done the intro for him. And whilst they've done okay, it's not huge considering the momentous station of fight. Even Crawford, to be fair, doesn't get the respect. I think he's got it now with boxing people, but he's still not as known. Like if you said to most boxers, I think you get Tyson Fury, Joshua, Wilder, Usyk maybe, but it's not always.
Yeah. Is that the promoter's fault though?
Maybe, but I think like the thing with him is if he's making his dollar and if he's making his yen in Japan or whatever it is, the currency, then does he need to go to those places? And then at his weight, who's the big names that there? Fulton was the biggest one, but then obviously Inoue was still bigger than him.
But I just can't wonder if someone like Eddie Hearn got hold of him. Eddie Hearn would just be screaming from the rooftops. Every time Eddie Hearn got interviewed, he'd mention Inoue. And that's what Eddie Hearn's why he's a great promoter. He really does promote his fighters really, really well. And I understand it's in Japan and just Japan. But I just think they're missing a trick with him that he could be
well, he should be.
I don't think he's a worldwide star.
Yeah. I think if you know boxing, you know who he is. Otherwise, you don't. Because even in like the American ones, you hear them go, "Oh, there's this guy called a monster." Like there was, I seen a podcast with Mike Tyson where he goes, "You're gonna need to see this guy. He's called a monster. Bring him up and then research him." But they don't know.
No, exactly, and that's why I think I just think they're missing it. They are missing a little trick with him. They really, really are. And I think if he, I think a fight in the States, or even a fight on DAZN or BT,
TNT Sports, no,
or TNT Sports, yeah. Really push him out there.
Well, I think if he becomes 2-weight undisputed, then it's not difficult to promote that, and then he's got that option of going to all those things. Yeah. It's just who he's fighting, isn't it? Who he gets there. Because the real big names come up in like lightweights, isn't it? Level, where you got the Shakurs and Co and people who are all vying, Tank Davis and all those people. But I think then you get into a level where it's just probably like a step too far.
Possibly. Or maybe not. Who knows?
With him.
He's got a good strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, we said that with Fulton was in immaculate condition and in a way was just better in everything.
I just think he needs that mega fight, a mega name. And I know in the divisions he has beaten mega names, but it's just not.
But the problem is that weight divisions, most people don't really know, and they're not really that bothered. And then there are some, like we've seen the fight before.
It's a shame. It is a shame because I think you need to watch this guy. If you're a boxing fan, watch him because
I think even if you're not, the thing is he's not boring. It's not like pure it is pure technical boxing, but it's pure technical boxing with volcanic power.
Just watch him because he is absolute. Don't miss the chance to watch him because he is something really, really special. He really is.
Well, he is the monster. I think it's an apt name. If you ever want to see a monster in the ring, he is. Yeah. It's one of the most appropriate nicknames there is. So, yeah.
Prediction time.
Okay. Inoue to win by knockout in round 7.
I am.
I stole yours. I can read it. I was trying to find it.
I think it's good.
Problem is, I think this might be a bit more of a fight and a bit longer, so it might get to about like what I normally say around 9, 10. I'm going to go for 7.
I'll go 11.
Yeah.
I'll go round 11.
We'll swap this time.
In a way,
you're normally
knockout.
The optimistic one. I'll be optimistic.
Round 11. But like I say, I think for the first 5, that's why I was going to go round 7 because I think the first 4 or 5 rounds, it's going to be really competitive.
Yeah.
I think Tapales will box really, really well, and I think he'll have success catching Inoue. With the southpaw jab, I really, really do. But then I think Inoue's, because he has got a great boxing brain, I think he'll work him out.
I think it's going to take about 4 rounds for him to work him out, and then he'll go, and then the fight will start switching. Then it's just a matter of time, and how good Tapales' chin is. Which, if he's been knocked out, then you would expect Inoue is better than any of those people he's thought.
But I think it's going to be a great fight. I really do think it's going to be a great fight.
On Boxing Day, you can't let it down, can it? It's got to be something a bit special. At least a special performance.
Yeah, and like if you're hungover on Boxing Day or just sitting there doing nothing, put it on, watch it, because you will be in for a treat. Like say, it's about 12 o'clock.
They're saying it'll be 10 o'clock start to about 12 o'clock ring time. Give or take what the undercard does.
Seriously.
So 12 half. It was about an hour late last time, so it's even 1, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to get up early.
Put it on, watch it, because I think you will be in for a treat of a fight, and you get to see, 2 fantastic world champions, but 1 superstar as well. Well,
I think one of them is arguably one of the best boxers of all time.
Yeah. Bold.
One of the best. I don't know. well, like on we do a pound per pound. He's number 2 on mine after Crawford, isn't it? So I think that's the only person I could say who has more than him, maybe, and it's close, is Crawford.
Yeah,
because he's got his switch and his adaptation. But I think, and in a way, he just does his thing, doesn't he? I don't think anybody else is close to those. Even my fave Usyk is a little bit of a step down.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I can't wait for it. Is that 6 days away?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okie dokie. Let's leave it there. And then there's a small event in Saudi Arabia, which we're going to move on to.
I haven't heard too much about this one, to be fair.
Okay, thanks. Like, subscribe, comment, please, what you think. Do you think it's going to be a monster show? Or do you think Tapales has a chance? Do you think?
Cause an upset, because it will be an
upset.
It
will be a huge upset.
Yeah.
I don't think many people will be expecting. Not even his father, grandmother, or whatever will be expecting, I don't think. They may be hoping for. I don't think they'll be expecting. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening to the next one. Take care.